How'd that song go?
Yeet. Today is your birthday, your 11th birthday.
That's a pretty good birthday song for Ken Smartwood.
Today is your birthday, your...
And someone's trying to mind control you and bring back the name of the nameless one and destroy the world or something. That's a little bit less of a happy tune.
Recording?
All right. So when you guys were doing this last thing, it was the late in the night of Ken's 11th birthday, and he was hovering in midair, and his eyes were glowing, and he was carving with his fingertip a rune at the end of the bat, at the end of his wiffle ball bat, the 11th of the runes on the wiffle ball bat. Yeah, put it down. And
it's your birthday.
And
people are trying to kill you because it's your birthday. Are we recording? I need to know.
Marzipan did a little bit of research on that, and
we're recording now. Hush. Yes.
Marzipan did a little bit of research on that and determined that the runes, aside from each individually being powerful runes, are collectively part of the name of the Nameless One, which is a bad thing to have written down because the Nameless One is nameless for a reason.
For a reason.
For a reason.
For a reason.
So, it's the next
day.
I was going to jump to the next evening. Because, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Because when we did the whole lead up into this thing, we knew it was not yet his birthday because his parents, your parents, were still talking about like what to do on his birthday. Mm-hmm. So this is actually like several days in advance of his birthday, which means this is in advance of when this rune thing usually shows up. So somebody seems to have jumped the gun in some way, shape, or form with doing this kind of thing.
Evil pumpkin. No. The pumpkin was silently destroyed.
Yes, not the evil pumpkin. So, I guess the next day...
Although it could have turned itself into a zombie and planned to take revenge.
The trick, really, is that you need to figure out what's going on. Your folks are heading out of town. They have a place they need to be. They're planning on having, if you want to have a party or something, Ken, it's totally fine. But, we're going to do it on a different day than your birthday because we have to be out of town. Hope that's okay. Are you guys okay? Is everything all right?
Yeah, we're fine. Sorry for the wake up last night.
Oh, no, I mean, you kids in your imagination, sometimes you just think things are happening when there's nothing happening. I mean...
Although we are self-in-love.
Anyway.
Ken secretly says in his mind.
So what are you guys doing the next day?
What are we doing the next day?
Because odds are pretty good that whoever's behind this is going to try again.
All-nighter.
It's time for an all-nighter.
Preparing for an all-nighter. I think I know who it is. Last episode, I woke up in the middle of the night, looked out my window, 3 mysterious people outside, maybe casting the spell to make sure Ken had the Nameless One.
Yeah, it's probably definitely those people.
Something to do with those people.
But the problem is you don't know who those people are. Zoe, if you're going to wipe that away, don't do that. Use
a tissue.
Rising fears.
Use that. So, and they seemed like big people. Mm-hmm. So it's some sort of adults around the town.
Big people.
And this isn't the first time that the adults in the town have sort of given you a weird vibe, a hard time.
Yeah.
Witty.
If you take
when we were starting the Smartwoods, we did this.
If you take a look at your character sheets, take a look at the group challenge on your character sheets.
Isn't that like the weird neighbors?
What's it say? What's it say?
Suspicious acting adults.
I see.
What?
Not suspicious acting adults.
Couldn't be suspicious acting.
That's actually
challenge. Group challenge. Suspicious acting adult.
Okay, so
we're being sarcastic.
You guys are expecting problems the next day. Mm-hmm. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The next question is, then, how do you prepare during the day?
Coffee.
Anything else?
Caffeine pills.
No, I mean, like, how do you what other stuff are you going to do? Are you in
a sugar pile in my bedroom?
There's not a lot of a challenge to figuring out how you guys are going to stay awake. I'm wondering what you're going to do while you're awake. Like, are you researching now to figure out what you need to do?
Like,
grab my slingshot and my binoculars and start slinging.
Read about possession.
And I want to
understand what's happening to you.
Okay.
And I want to grab my slingshot and start throwing paintballs at the neighbor's house.
Yeah, maybe random maybe random vandalism isn't the way to get the town on your side.
Vandalism.
That may not be where
Vandalism.
that may not be where you want to go with that. Okay. So you wanted to research Ken's possession thing. All right.
Can you
see if I can stop it if they try to do it again?
You have a dice for that.
I do.
And you are...
Ken, you were being possessed last night.
You're also a mystic, which gives you another...
You know that.
And you have a dice for being a mystic, and you have books about weird stuff. Mm-hmm. That should give you 3 dice.
3 dice.
You're trying to roll below your number for books.
My book's number is 8.
Below your number.
Sweet.
And your book's number is 8. So you're trying to roll below an 8.
Oh shit, that was an accident. So we've got 2, 7, and a 3. So
That's
killed
great.
it.
That's pretty good.
You win. But what if you add them together?
You just win, huh?
you just win.
If you add them together, that does not work.
With 3 hits, you get a critical. Sweet. The GM describes an extra effect you get. Okay. Well, the possession thing is definitely something that somebody's doing. I mean, Toucan, in order to be able, what did you do with the last one?
It's right here, dude.
Use that. Just continue to use that.
We should be sharing.
The trick would be like how are you how are they like reaching out to Ken or something like that? Maybe that would be the question. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if it's anybody who's around, it's actually not that difficult to figure it out because, I mean, you guys have been around the town sort of forever, so it's not like it would be hard to get
info.
Well, the kind of symbolic links that people would need to be able to reach out and mess with someone like Ken would not be that difficult to acquire. You guys are
pretty well known.
Well, you're pretty well known. If somebody was really aiming at that, and it's been 10 years they've been messing with him.
Amigos.
It's been 10 or 11 years that they've been messing with him. So, yeah, it wouldn't be hard to get like a hair sample or whatever. Mm-hmm. Whoever's doing it obviously has some goal. The interesting thing...
Name one or something?
I mean, each one, like I said before, each one of the runes has its own meaning and its own...
All of the letters that's in this one's name.
Well, that isn't the full name, but you don't need the full name to do a tremendous amount of damage. But each one of collectively, it's the nameless one's name, but... individually, each one of those runes has significance and purpose and importance. Okay?
Mm-hmm. The middle one means A, and the last one is B.
No.
100.
The important thing
means 100.
A really important discovery for you that you think you might be able to do something with is, guys, you gotta listen to what Kaylee's about to figure out here. The important thing that is something that you feel is more of an important discovery, and this isn't so much in the books on possession as it is on the rune meanings and stuff like that, is that each one of these runes that you're looking up has a meaning, but it also has a counterpart.
So it's like partners?
No. It's a weird concept in this kind of runic symbolism.
So I...
No. Let me finish. It isn't like math, but it's kind of like math. It's more like science.
Science, baby!
If you have an acid, that can be canceled out with a... Come on, help me.
With two close
There's two different kinds of chemical substances, and one of them sort of cancels the other one out. Acid, Zan, starts with a B. Come on. You're in science. You should know this.
Boris!
I don't know anything.
Base.
I don't learn anything in school.
Base.
Boris
I
from
would
the
never
Inquisition!
Alright. So,
Bendy.
in a lot of ways,
Bendy!
guys, in a lot of scientific theory, there's this idea of a thing that's canceled out by another thing. So, like a certain reactive agent, like an acid, can be canceled out with a base, or it reacts with, and they mutually sort of annihilate one another, something like that. These runes have counterparts that seem to... You think you can write out a runic string that is not exact. It wouldn't be fair to call it the opposite of the thing, but something that makes them not work. You have the cancellation runes for these runes, or you think you can put together the cancellation. You think, if you understand the theory, I mean, obviously. Oh, so here's the thing: runes are old. The way they're describing them is in language that you're not necessarily familiar with, using theory that you're not necessarily familiar with. You're trying to think of it scientifically. They didn't, or they didn't express it in that way. So you think that if you have certain runes and they're currently being active, that's kind of a key thing, and you actively put down opposing runes to them in some fashion, like somewhere in the conduit, it should make them not work? Question mark? Or you're completely misreading the whole thing and it won't do anything, or it'll make things worse or something. But you think?
Can I have a pencil?
You think? Yes, probably. There's one in the cup over there, bud.
Then I need to do that.
Well, you need to wait until the other runes are active.
Yeah. So I have to wait until they start doing their freaky stuff.
Yeah.
Equals.
So shall I? Hey. What we need down there on the bottom of that sheet, bud, are the anti-runes for the runes that are up there. You need to come up with runes that cancel out the runes that you already have on the sheet.
X. Throw trash can. Throw away the bat. X.
That wouldn't probably be a good thing. The also question is, like, there isn't any space on the bat to do it. So the question then becomes, like...
Well, I could do it on the back, right?
Well, the runes are kind of, like, spiral up the barrel of the bat.
Above. Do it above each rune.
Like on top of each one?
Like above it. Like if it's like a spiral. Then I
Next
could,
to it, kind of? Maybe.
There's gotta be room on this bat, man.
I don't know. Zoology is gathering together a bunch of stuff in the house and other shenanigans stuff. Ken, what are you doing to get ready for all this? Are you just kind of...
I'm just praying that I'll be asleep through all of this.
I'm not sure that's the best thing.
You should.
Yeah, come about 7, 8 o'clock at night, he starts eating sugar and caffeine like it's sugar and caffeine. Chocolate covered espresso beans. In a cake. A cake of chocolate covered espresso beans.
I was really saying.
Chocolate covered espresso beans? Yes, those are a thing.
They're delicious.
I used to eat them. Oh, really? Because the first time I ever gave you those, you hated them.
Well, that's before I started liking.
I see. I used to eat them in college to get up when I got up in the morning. To go to, like, my 8 o'clock algebra classes and stuff. 7 o'clock algebra classes. God, it was a nightmare.
she's back.
Okay, so zoology is gathering up all these various tools and stuff for hijinks and shenanigans. Is that right?
And that,
I think that sounds right.
She likes her shenanigans.
Dad,
Yes.
I need you to draw a pentagram.
A pentagram. Okay. The things my kids asked me to draw.
Because I have no idea how to draw stuff.
There you go. How's that?
Yep.
Did I do it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. What do you do? What you need? Okay. 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 In that case, the plan is you guys are going to be in the house. You're going to try to negate these runes, and you two are just going to try to keep things under control.
And I'm gonna be trying to eat every single piece of candy in the sugar pile in my bedroom.
Can't sleep? Can't take them over. In there. All right. Here's the plan. Have you ever seen Home Alone?
No.
No.
Your job is to booby trap the house so that nobody can get in safely without having bad things happen to them.
Considering what Zoe does to her room in the real world, this will be fine.
And that's on accident.
Okay. All right. So, Zoe,
Yes.
zoology,
Yes.
disaster monkey.
Alright.
You need... Okay, you got your slingshot, you got your other tools and stuff. You need to tell me about some ways that you're going to booby trap the house.
A person walks in, says, "Ooh, a rope, I'm gonna pull it."
Or
And then...
maybe do a tripwire. But in any case, what happens when the line gets pulled?
Yeah, if it's a good guy...
I didn't
I
think
don't-
that part.
Yeah, I didn't...
There's a rope. It's triggered. What happens next is a complete mystery.
I don't know.
If it's a good guy, I don't want to hurt them. So
Well, okay,
you discover them and really
Assume that anybody who's trying to come into the house tonight is not a good guy.
And then...
You drop a paint can on their head.
Yes. Pull me.
What's that?
There's no pull me sign. Magicians aren't clever. And then it sets
I like how you're...
camera.
You take a picture of them?
No! It sets a camera to say if it's a good or it's a bad
Okay,
guy.
they're all bad guys tonight. We don't need to worry about whether or not they're bad guys.
If it's a bad... I'm just saying this. If it's a bad guy...
It drops the cell phone in their head.
No, if it's a bad guy, it just kills it.
No.
If
We're not killing anybody.
it's a bad guy, it just puts it out.
I want you to think of funny things to happen to them.
Okay. Cover them in the slime you got from the
Pepper spray
birthday
to the
party.
eyes.
What's that?
Pepper spray to the eyes.
Pepper spray to the eyes. Silly string in the face. Oh, silly string all over the stairs so they slip and fall.
Pumpkin guts. Pumpkin guts on the floor.
Catapulting baby pumpkins at their head.
Just like the baby food, like the baby mush.
God, that's gross. Okay.
Like the leftover pumpkin seeds from when we killed that guy. I don't think we got any leftover pumpkin seeds.
What?
The evil pumpkin.
I know.
The Halloween.
We didn't even kill him.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure we did. That or I just don't remember.
You guys want an award for the biggest pumpkin the next day. You know that.
Go up.
All right.
Can't find room for stairs.
Let's see about your... So, I need you to roll dice.
Me?
Yep. You get one dice.
Pull. So,
Okay,
to
so
see how well your
you get one dice.
To
You
see
get,
how well your traps work when you test them
you
on
get
your
one
sister.
dice. You get another dice for being sneaky.
1, 2.
And we'll give you one more for your gear.
Okay. So, above or below?
You want... that's a good question.
Yeah, because is it a brains roll or a bikes roll?
I don't know.
Books or bikes?
I think it's a bikes roll. I think you need to roll high. Because you're setting up like physical.
Let's just say it's a bikes.
Okay.
Above 6.
This is
Above
tricky.
6. Above
Booby
6.
traps are weird.
Above 6. Above 6. Above 6. Above 6. 12, 10, and 6. That's good luck, right?
I think a 6 is pretty good. Let's find out. If there's a tie, that's pretty good. 12, 10, and a 6, huh? Any dice that land on your number exactly mean that you get a special insight.
Means that you get special knowledge about the situation.
So they go up the stairs. They step on a stone.
There's you're gonna have booby traps all over the place. You're gonna have stuff where you have slime on the like there's a way to go into the basement from outside the house, and you put slippery goop all over the steps so they slip and fall down into the basement. And if they come in through the front door,
and then hit them with all their cooking supplies in your kitchen.
and they come in through the front door, and she's got a bunch of gigantic rubber bands and stuff storing up to like throw stuff at the like a sort of like homemade slingshots that she's made to throw stuff at.
Go up the ladder.
Occasionally it breaks and froze, and the rubber bands throw themselves.
Okay. Wait, let's see if they actually need to come into the house, because if they can just take over Ken, it's not going to be a problem.
Go up the ladder.
Wax!
Step on a
Wax the front porch.
All right, so Ken.
Go up a ladder, step on a stone, and then
Plus, you're also like running around, like
a pumpkin drops.
Okay. Plus, you're also like kind of sneaking around the house and randomly shooting stuff at them, like paintballs and stuff at them with your slingshot. Ken, I need you.
To wax.
I need you
Porch.
to see whether or not you can stay awake when they're trying to do a spell that makes you go to sleep.
Well,
So take a dice for that.
I better start eating that candy.
Take a regular dice. Take a dice for being prepared, because you're. Pull the other ones out of the frisbee. Take them out of the frisbee. So you have 2 dice right now.
Maybe it's 3.
He has 3.
No, I have 2
2,
in my hands.
2, and then one more for. I'm gonna give you one more as a combination of daredevil and athlete, because you're physically in good shape, so you can take the beating of all the caffeine and sugar, and you're a daredevil, so you're eating things that you really shouldn't, and you're kind of used to doing that. So that should give you 3 dice to roll.
I usually get there by my friends to eat most of the foods that everyone hates in the cafeteria.
Okay, so
every other Friday.
you're trying to roll above a 3. What?
It's easy.
I think
In the frisbee.
Easy. 2 4s and a 10.
I think 2 4s and a 10.
2 4s and a 10. Okay, awesome. What? I know. We're okay. All right. So
long times.
Ken is staying awake, but Ken is also like super hyper and babbling nonsense and stuff like that. And like, so zoology is running around the house and defending the house and on the walkie-talkies and like, oh, they're coming in through the second floor windows. And he keeps trying to like run out after them to help. And you're like, nope. You have to stay here.
Locked and loaded.
All right. I need you to see about doing these counter rooms.
Got this.
Here we go.
What we doing?
You're rolling books.
These are the counter 11.
That's not
Booby traps, locked and
All
loaded.
right. You're rolling.
I drew the pentagram.
Yeah, I know it's bad.
You're rolling 2 dice.
Just 2?
Just 2 right now.
Above or below?
Below.
Below.
Because you're trying to write, and you're trying to like do something into the back.
Why?
Okay, what'd you get?
2 12s.
2 12s?
Ah, shoot!
All right.
I'm good. I'm getting possessed tonight.
Okay, so every time you try to look at me, every time you try to carve into the bat, the carving that you do seals back up again. And
That is bullshit.
Hey, come on.
There are
Free
kids.
card.
Kaylee, there are kids here.
Yeah,
It's
you're
something
actually
you
one
haven't
of them.
heard before, Joe.
All right, so you're carving into the bat, and the bat's healing back up again. What?
Why must my back be cursed?
Start hitting
this
it
is
on
the-
the edge of the table.
The bat is not the bat can't be where you need to put the carving. Where you need to put not the carving. Where you need to put the runes.
I can time for a tattoo.
It doesn't need to be a tattoo necessarily.
Tattoo myself.
Ken,
Sit still.
Ken, give me your arm. What? Give me your arm. Hold the bat. You hold the bat. Now hold the bat.
I have a knee on the wrist and a hand on the elbow, and they're just desperately writing.
And you're like drawing it on his arm. You're drawing this really cool design up his arm, like from the base of his hand up to
Yeah,
his elbow.
You make each one exact.
All right, Ken, I need you to roll 1 dice to help. Roll.
Above or
Low.
under?
You want to roll low.
3.
Perfect.
Yes!
All right, now that's 1. Marzipan, you get 2 more.
No, you screwed me over. I hate you.
The black and white dice.
1 and 1.
What? Double ones?
Snake eyes!
Finally, Snake Eyes means something good!
Okay,
Exactly.
so zoology is at this point in time, all of her booby traps have been triggered, and there's people out on the street, and she's like, nobody. Where did all these pencils come from?
Me?
Okay, put them back where they came from.
I
don't want
reduced
them
the
here.
pencils, Dad.
Giving them to you just
Okay,
in
give them-
case
And like
next day.
one of the people
I
is
don't.
just
Thank you. No.
splattered with all the junk she put into slingshots. There are 5 eggs on the back of his head.
All right. So, zoology has booby trapped. Nobody else is coming back into the house, and zoology realizes there's still some people out in the street, and she sneaks out through the back door of the house, circles around, and starts like shooting like eggs.
And 5 getting kidnapped.
At the people on the front, at the people out on the front
So you're
street.
gonna get.
You're carving the thing, and Ken, the drawing on the hand. Zoe, move out of the way. Zoe, move out of the way. Move out of the way. So Ken, the drawing on your hand is there, and and when Marzipan finishes it
Freaking
and
cool.
draws it, okay,
Freaking glowing.
it starts to glow, and you're like, okay, and it glows, and the runes in the back glow,
What
and
happens?
they both kind of disappear, and you like let go of the bat, and you're like, huh, the drawing's gone on your arm, and the drawing on the bat is gone, and then when you grab the bat, you can see the drawing, and the runes come back on the bat. You're like, huh?
I'm enchanted! I'm enchanted!
You let go, and you're like, fades out, comes back, fades out, comes back.
I'm enchanted!
Lights off, lights on. Lights off, lights on.
I'm enchanted! I'm enchanted!
So it's like this. Enchanted, stealth mode. Enchanted, stealth mode.
Help, boys! My sister enchanted me!
I mean, yes.
And you're welcome?
You're welcome.
Okay.
You're welcome. You've been possessed overnight.
So we don't know exactly what you did, but whatever you did stopped whatever was happening.
Yes.
So
But now I'm enchanted.
congratulations. And now Kaylee has
Not
officially
very
drawn.
good at drawing hands.
And now Kaylee has kind of drawn on every kid in the house today.
Technically.
And now it's
I
time for
am a
Zoe.
god.
It's time for Zoe.
All right, guys.
I am a god.
Yay.
You're not a guy.
No.
No. You're
And I'm gonna continue
All right.
drawing the traps in the car.
okay.
Bye, Zoe.
Bye, Zoe. We're gonna stop doing this. All right. Thanks, guys.
Now we piece everything. Now we piece everything together.
Yep.